Thanks for logging on to MyFoxHurricane.com. So as we go through the month of July, it's still early on in the season. The areas that we're watching is the Gulf of Mexico, the Western Atlantic, and down through the Caribbean, and looking further and further out as the month goes on. Now, as we head towards August, which is just a couple of weeks away, we really start to expand on these areas. The Gulf of Mexico, the Western Atlantic down into the Caribbean, always a hot spot for development, but you start to look further and further to the east, out towards Africa. We start to see more of these bigger storms, these big tropical waves that develop in the systems working their way across the Atlantic. So we look at what's going on right now. You look across the Gulf of Mexico down into the Caribbean, very quiet. In fact, we have this broad area of high pressure just kind of centered right over the Yucatan. So light wind shear across all these areas. You have this upper level low, which is creating some stronger wind shear just to the north of Puerto Rico. But other than that, it's very quiet. But the other thing you notice, there's not much cloud cover either. You don't have a whole lot of moisture in the atmosphere, relatively speaking. You look further to the east, and we do have a couple of tropical waves. Here's tropical wave number 1. And notice you're just not seeing much in the way of moisture with that. The other one, which worked its way off the coast of Africa, there is some more moisture with this, but again, it's going to continue to struggle as we go through the next several days. The big key to a lot of this really is a lot of dry air working its way through the Caribbean, the Gulf of Mexico, and right through the central Atlantic. You do see some of this moisture along that intertropical convergence zone, and that one tropical wave that I just showed you working its way off the coast of Africa, that will continue to push on to the east, or towards the west rather, over the next several days. But for the time being, just not seeing any signs of development. Here's another view of that on the Fox model, and here is that intertropical convergence zone. You can see all the showers associated with it, and then that one wave working its way off the coastline, very limited moisture with it still, and just not showing much in the way of any development. But again, you can clearly see that intertropical convergence zone with all the showers lined up along that. So the bottom line is, over the next, say, 3 to 5 days, just not expecting to see any significant development in the tropics. Of course, we'll keep you updated right here on MyFoxHurricane.com.